Welcome to Awakening, the podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christian Strang. I'm a mystic and metaphysical psychologist and the author of 12 books, most recently, The Angelic's Wildest Dreams. And welcome to a very special edition of Awakening, the podcast, video edition. So I even have a visual for you today. So I'm very excited to share with you some information that my connection with Source and my spiritual team, Mary Magdalene, Yeshua, all of the goddesses of the highest light have blessed me with. And I am now sharing it with you so that you also can be blessed by this information to guide you during this year that we are calling 2024. Now, by now, you've heard all of the predictions, everything from impending doom to the best year yet, all sorts of things in the space from astrologers, psychics, those who consider themselves experts in the financial arena and other arenas that are speaking about what's to come in 2024. So what I wanted to provide you with today and what I'm going to provide you with today is some really grounded, tangible, true information that can benefit you and support you in your incarnation. As you know, I am all about solutions, so I'm going to give you some sacred solutions for this time of 2024, because again, it's easy to get distracted. It's easy to get caught up in the hype, but we want you, and when I say we, I mean Source and all of the highest light want you to have your best life no matter what is happening in the greater collective, while also being aware of what's happening in the greater collective and taking specific actions to support you in thriving as things continue to shift. We are in the collapse, I can say this better. We are in the midst of the collapse of the third and fourth dimensional matrices. We knew this would come. This is a beautiful, wonderful thing. This is happening for the highest good and the highest benefit for all. So let's get into it. I'm going to pull up my document here for those of you that are that love to listen to us on sacred-spirituality.org. My words are going to work, I promise. For those of you that like to listen to us on iHeartRadio or heaven forbid, iTunes, we can have an Apple conversation some other time. You may want to go to YouTube to check out this video. I am Sacred Spirituality on YouTube, or I believe my symbol is at Dr. Christian Strang or at Christian Strang. I will make sure I have that information in the email that goes out, but let me pull up my screen here for you so I can share with you this really handy PDF that we've created. You know, there's so much esoteric stuff that's out there, and we really, really want things to be so digestible and so easy for you to be able to understand the time that you're living in, what is happening, and how to work with it. So there's so much noise in the space. There's so many hacks out there. Goddess bless them. But we want to really keep things simple, succinct, and clear and tangible for you so that you can take this information, be empowered, and live your best life. And be aware of what's happening in the collective. This is very important. So, you know, in 2012, we might have been sort of ignoring that. And even earlier times, 2008 to 2012, we're sort of just doing our own thing. The terminology that came up a lot for people and still does is spiritual bypassing. We want you to know exactly what's going on the earth, and then we want you to take empowered action forward. So here is a collective timeline overview for you to give you a handle on what's happening. These are the collective themes that have been happening since 2012. Now, everyone's having their own individualized, customized, individuated experience on the path to individuation, but these are the themes of the collective that you want to be aware of, that you can work with to assist you. So first is good old 2012. You know, what were the Mayans trying to tell us? 2012 is the beginning of the end for the hijacked agenda. So the agenda that had been running the Earth Matrix It's over, baby. It is over. And this is the time where the return of the light began. So that was really, there was a lot of speculation of, oh, it's the end of the world. Well, it's the end of the hijacked agenda. It's the end of one version of the world and the beginning of the return to the light on Earth. So light workers for years and decades had been doing incredible work. And it started out as just a small group of light workers. And then it has built over time. And by 2012, we really got to a place, God has blessed these light workers, where the return of the light was beginning to happen on the earth. So check in with yourself. What was happening for you in 2012? Now, we're all in our own individual cycles, but I know for me, 2012, I met my divine counterpart. 2012, I went full time in my healing practice. I began my spiritual journey in 2008 was when I had my awakening. I had 4 years of intensive study and connection to source and daily meditation before I even began teaching or sharing the work with others. And even then, I was only doing so as a practitioner. We see today there's a lot of folks that had a spiritual awakening yesterday, and now they're immediately teaching courses and classes. So yes, we are in an accelerated timeline. And we want to make sure that we're really anchoring and grounding in the higher frequencies and vibrations, and that we're really walking our talk and living in alignment with who we truly are before we go putting more noise in the space. So 2012 is when it all started. Now, 2013 to 2018, we had the theme of living like you're on vacation, which meant we're breaking out of any remaining 3D work, relationship, abundance confines. It was really about starting to give us a taste of freedom outside of the prisons, the matrices that had been created through the hijacked agenda, through the artificial matrix. So this is when you can do some reflection here for yourself. This is when we started breaking out of those old constructs, even breaking out of old constructs of what, relationship is really meant to be, relationship with self, relationship with others. Where does our abundance come from? What does that look like? We started bringing in these freedom codes, just started trickling in the 2013 to 2018 timeline. Now, again, this is for the collective. I want you to reflect back on where you're at. This is the collective theme. You may be nowhere near this or way on the other side of this, depending on your specific path of enlightenment and individuation. Now, 2019 to 2023 is when things got really spicy. This was the time of live like you're not in a totalitarian artificial matrix run by a hijacked agenda. This was sort of the climactic point of intensity for us to see where we were really living, what was really happening, who everyone who said they were, when that was in alignment, when that was not in alignment. 2019 is also the time when the earth, through all of the amazing continued work that light workers have been doing, began to hold a higher frequency outside of the third and fourth dimension and into the fifth dimension. So when that happened in June of 2019, I know those of you who have been with me for some time, you've heard me talk about this. When that happened in June of 2019, now it has to be seen, because everything that is not a vibrational match to the fifth dimension, what is the fifth dimension? It's the connection to source, the connection to love. Use whatever terminology resonates for you, but it is a higher vibrational frequency than what we had all been living in. So now we are in the year known as 2024, and technically 2024 starts in March, when we go into that spring season, when we go into that more expansive energy. There's, it's so fun, this journey we're on now, because in 2012, we're like, oh, the new year starts on January 1st, or it's the Chinese New Year. Now we understand that there are multiple timelines running. I'm not going to get too far into that. I, again, want to keep this as grounded and clear as possible for you. So what we know is that we're now stepping into the 2024 timeline. The energy frequency is opening that space for us as we move into March of 2024. Again, this is the artificial matrix calendar we're working with. Now, this next 5-year span from 2024 to 2029, I want to say is the most critical, the most important. But certainly when we were in those other timelines, we would have said those are very important as well. This is the time of living like everything is holy and sacred. Why? Why do we want to live like everything is holy and sacred? Because that's how you bring your and the earth's light body or spiritual body fully online. Why is this important? Can't live in the golden age with poison in your body, poison in your energy field, poison on the earth. It's not going to work. So we have to step up our game. We have to step into a higher frequency, a higher trajectory of living. We have to actually walk our talk or walk the highest light talk, the highest light path, so that our light body can come online, so that we can experience the collective golden age. Pretty exciting, right? Now, why is that important? Well, you and I incarnated at this time because we wanted to be here for the collective golden age. We wanted to help usher it in. You would not be here if that was not part of your mission here on earth. You would have incarnated at another time. You would have just waited, you know what, y'all, I'll see you in the golden age. But if you are here now and you are listening to this podcast or watching this podcast episode, as the case might be, you are most definitely here to usher in the next collective golden age. But you cannot do that with a poisoned, dense third or fourth dimensional body or third and fourth dimensional earth. Now, this is not about a perfected state of whatever, because humans can get kind of distorted here. This is that you are doing absolutely everything you can to cleanse your body of toxins, only put into your body the highest light sources of water and food and media. Excuse me. Anything that you're taking in is coming in from that higher vibrational way. And then you are honoring the earth in what you purchase, how you treat her, and you're not adding to more poison to the level and degree that you can help it. I had this conversation once with a soul friend of mine about, if you're driving the car, it's the hybrid car or it's the, running on water car or whatever it is, but then the tires and the rubber affects the earth because of the off-gassing of that. And the ripple effect of all the various modern conveniences can be overwhelming and sort of like, how am I going to honor the earth and also live my mission, get to where I need to be to share the message, to do the work that I'm here to do? So we just want you making any new purchases from a place of sustainability. So for example, in my life, my team gave me this guidance back in 2020. So my intention is that I'm buying new clothes that are from sustainable sources. They're sustainably made, they're upcycled, recycled, local makers, anything I can do to make sure that I'm not feeding the commercialized fashion and industry, which is polluting the earth, right? So I'm not getting rid of everything I have. In fact, the guidance was to wear everything I have until it is tattered and complete, and then that can be reused to be upcycled. But I'm going to use everything fully that I have, and then if I bring anything new in, I want to make sure it's the highest frequency and it's supporting the earth, supporting my local community. So that's an example of how you can be balanced and grounded in honoring the earth as we're in this point of transition and expansion. So I wanted to give you some pointers about what does this mean to live like everything is holy and sacred, to bring your and the earth's light body or spiritual body fully online. So eat organic, right? You know that I'm a huge fan, super fan of Purium because I was brought this organization of superfoods as a support and a bridge to the golden age. So that means that you can have organic, regeneratively grown, in compostable packaging food delivered to your doorstep, and you can have that and take it with you. It's very easy to use. I am not a chef. I'm not interested in becoming one. So if you see my metaphysical menu blog, I like things to be very clean, very simple, but also very high vibrational. So eat organic. Drink clean, high vibrational water. So make sure your water is of a higher frequency. We know there's so much water pollution in addition to food contamination. So again, we want to up our game, do more of what we can do to make sure that we're putting the purest ingredients that we can into our body, recognizing we don't have control over everything, but we do have control over what we're putting directly into what we're buying and what we're putting directly into our body. So bless your superfoods, bless your superfoods, bless your water. Treat everything as though it's holy and sacred, because it is, including your temple, right? What would you put into the most beautiful temple? You wouldn't put Cheetos, or no offense, Cheetos, I'm just picking on you right now, but you wouldn't put non-organic substances into a temple. You wouldn't, because it's of the God, it's of God, Goddess, it's of the light. So really thinking about your body and viewing your body as something that's holy and sacred. I know that religion and also a lot of New Age spirituality tells you you're not your body. This body is just a meat suit. Well, that's not true. I'm here to tell you that's not true. And in fact, you might be taking this body with you to some places. So we want you to really treat your body as though it is a temple, because it is. It is the most advanced technology next to Earth that exists. And you are responsible for this technology, and to treat it with as much care and honor and respect as possible. That means you need to move your body daily. Your body needs movement. That energy needs to move. This supports you spiritually, mentally, emotionally, and physically. You want to meditate for 22 minutes minimum every single day. Why? That increases your connection with your higher self, not to mention lowers stress levels, and is really great for your body physically. Gratitude, incredibly important. There's been so much grief that we've all gone through, so much loss. The highest and healthiest expression of grief is actually gratitude. You know you've gotten to an aligned state with your grief when you can actually express gratitude for the loss, for what you had, the loss itself, and where you're at now. Now, I already touched on this. Buy sustainably sourced everything. So as much as you are able, make sure anything new that you're bringing into your space is sustainably sourced as much as is possible. We want to support those who are creating sustainable creations so that we can live on the earth in a collective golden age. So we want to support the earth and be in union with her. Why? It makes our life better. Then she blesses us as we're blessing her. She blesses us. And it's part of why we're here. It's part of your mission. You would not be here at this time, the ushering of the golden age, if you were not here to care for yourself, your technology, your body that you may have way longer than you think, and the earth, which leads us to stepping into service as a love territory guide. Partnering with the earth, coming into union with yourself, the earth, your beloved, and your next level community. Uncover where you are meant to live, where your community is, where your people are, where you're meant to travel. There are communities sprouting up all over the world. It is so exciting that are the golden age communities. I've already been invited to 2 of them. I'm so excited. I've been checking out all the different communities that are out there. I've been in deep prayer and meditation, using my tools as a love territory guide to uncover where my next assignment is. So those of you that already love territory guides, we're often getting a new assignment at this time in the 2024 to 2029 period, because we're ready to go to the next level of service to support the earth. So there are whole swaths of land that you are here to support, lands, waters, living beings that you're here to care for, that are also going to care for you. This creates more love in your life, more union in your life, because again, the spirit of the earth is blessing you as you are blessing her. So I invite you, if you feel the resonance of this, to step into service as a love territory guide, step into collaborating with the earth in this advanced technology way. So you'll receive a love technology as a love territory guide that will enhance your life. It will enhance your advanced technology body. And the first module, you get this incredible spiritual attunement, which attunes you as a love territory guide that takes you to the next level of your alignment and your mission on earth and creates more love for you and for the greater whole. So this is our next phase, 2024 to 2029. We are going deep into treating everything as holy and sacred. Every little star point I put here on this document, this is where we are meant to focus so that we can have our spiritual body, our higher self, animating this avatar. So typically we have, the programs running this avatar. We have the wounding running the avatar. What we're now stepping into is this union with the higher self through the spiritual light body, so that our higher self is animating through us. So those individuals you meet and they just have like a glow to them. And you're like, I'll have what they're having. What is happening here? That's the spiritual light body is online. So I had the experience the other day. I walked into two separate places. One was a spa, one was the co-op. And as soon as I came in, the people said to me, you just brought like this light with you. This man was like, what? You came in and you changed the whole frequency of the place. And I said, thank you for noticing. That is our spiritual light body that comes in. So that's what people are seeing. That's what they're experiencing. And more of us are going to be having our spiritual light bodies come online by following these very specific and very easy to implement practices and trainings so that we can be who we really are. That is how we create the golden age. That is our mission in this incarnation. So for advanced practitioners of earth life, you're going to want to take it a step further. After you eat organic, drink clean, high vibe water, move your body daily, meditate for 22 minutes a day, practice gratitude, buy sustainably sourced everything, receive your attunement as a love territory guide, and start engaging in those practices. Then you're going to go into self-healing, making sure you have a regular self-healing practice to clear limiting beliefs, traumas, fears, negative attachments, negative thought forms, entity attachments, on and on and on I can go, to clean up the ancestral line. This is our responsibility. This is why we're here. And it's an important, empowering part of being on earth. The next piece is to receive energy medicine healing from a soul resonant practitioner, someone you really vibe with a leading edge modality like the Mpsy, which is the healing modality I downloaded into my consciousness back in 2015 from Source and my spiritual team, or Body Talk, which is the other energy medicine modality that I practice that is exceptional as well. And you're to have these sessions every 2 to 4 weeks to delete subconscious programs that aren't serving you and upgrade your attractor field so that you can attract more and be, I can say that better, be more magnetic to what is in alignment with your highest experience and your highest timeline. We'll talk about individual timelines more in the future. Right now, we're talking about the collective timeline, and then I'm giving you some next steps for how to rock this segment that we're in. Now we go to 2030 to 2035, golden age question mark, question mark. Will we experience the collective golden age from 2030 to 2035? That remains to be seen. That potentiality exists should we all choose to take these actions that I've talked about and really come into greater union with ourself and with the earth, therefore with our beloveds, and therefore with our communities, and being able to magnetize in the communities that are most aligned for us. So like I mentioned, these communities are sprouting up all over. And I just had the experience of having them come into my space and very quickly. And so I know, oh, there may be a new assignment for me. Now I'm going to use my technology as a love territory guide to be guided to that next assignment, that next level of impact and service that I'm here for. So I'm sharing this with you because I encourage you to do the same. I invite you to step into the possibility that we can collectively be living in the golden age from 2030 to 2035. Somewhere in that timeline, the golden age collectively could be activated. And the only way that that happens is if we're each living in our personal golden age, which takes the above practices I've just shared. Okay, I've given you a lot of information here, but Mary and the team said it was very important that I shared this with you so that you had some tangible, grounded, supportive information to assist you in 2024. Remember that there is a lot of grabs happening for your attention, and wherever you give your attention is where you give your light force. It's where you give your energy, and you're feeding whatever you're giving your attention to. So unless you feel a deep soul resonance with whatever you're taking in, don't take it in. Unless you experience a really deep soul resonance with those other humans, don't spend a lot of time with them. Not because they're bad, not because something's wrong, but because we want to really tune our focus. And we've been working on this for so long, haven't we? Those of us on this path, we really want to tune our focus to that which serves the highest light, that which is the highest light, that which is a vibrational match for our light. So there are many paths to the mountain. How do you find the path to the mountain? And the mountain being enlightenment, the mountain being living your best, most authentic life. The only way you find your path to that is by only honoring that which is truly soul resonant for you, that which is truly a vibrational match for you. The people, places, things, the clothing, the jewelry, everything that is a frequency match for you, the work you're meant to do in the world. The recreational things that you take part in, are they a vibrational match to your soul and to your highest timeline, not your wounded soul, to your highest timeline? So you may find in this year of 2024, as I am finding, that you have to let go of certain people, places, things, relationships, ways of being, habit patterns, exercise routines, meditation routines, because you are going to the next level of your ascension so that we can all celebrate together 2030 to 2035 and beyond the collective golden age. Thank you so much for listening, watching, being part of this journey with me. Can you believe we've been doing this for as long as we've been doing this? 16 years. I've been on this path, and it just gets more fascinating, more interesting, more exciting, and certainly more light is shown again and again for all of us. So if you felt a resonance with what I shared here, please feel free to share it with someone in your life who is also on an awakening journey. If you're a full body yes to being a love territory guide, go to sacred-spirituality.org/LTG. You can also just go to my website, click on certifications, and it'll be right there for you as well. We would love to welcome you into this incredibly beautiful gathering of angelic, starseed, fairy, highest vibrational beings who are carrying this technology and are doing this very important work on Earth at this time. Thank you again for listening and watching and for being on Earth. It's an honor, it's a joy, it's a what the absolute F is happening, amazing experience to be sharing with you. I hope and pray, and my intention is that what we shared with you today gives you that tangible, grounded information that you need so that you can go to your next level, whatever that is, wherever you're at in your individual cycles. May this be a benefit to you. As always, I'm your host, Dr. Christian Strang, and this has been Awakening the Podcast.